If I told you Britain owes the Caribbean $19 trillion for slavery, you'd call that justice. If I told you Jesus already paid more, you'd call that crazy. But hear me out. 400 years, European empires got rich, filthy rich, off Caribbean backs. France made billions off Haiti's so-called freedom fee. The Netherlands is still spending stolen money. And yes, the debt is real. But even if they wired us $100 trillion tomorrow, it still wouldn't fix what was truly broken. Because money can pay off a loan, but it can't buy back a soul. And that's why, when Jesus said in Luke 12, "To whom much is given, much will be required," he wasn't just talking to kings and governments. He was talking about the kingdom. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you take the $100 trillion if you knew it wasn't enough? Smash like, hit subscribe, and let's talk about the only reparations that really set you free. A reading from the Gospel of Luke. Jesus said to his disciples, "There is no need to be afraid, little flock, for it has pleased your Father to give you the kingdom. Sell your possessions and give alms. Get yourselves purses that do not wear out, treasure that will not fail you, in heaven where no thief can reach it and no moth destroy it. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. See that you are dressed for action and have your lamps lit. Be like men waiting for their master to return from a wedding feast, ready to open the door as soon as he comes and knocks. Happy those servants whom the master finds awake when he comes. I tell you solemnly, he will put on an apron, sit them down at table and wait on them. It may be in the second watch he comes, or in the third, but happy those servants if he finds them ready. You may be quite sure of this, that if the householder had known at what hour the burglar would come, he would not have let anyone break through the wall of his house. You too must stand ready, because the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect." Peter said, "Lord, do you mean this parable for us, or for everyone?" The Lord replied, "What sort of steward, then, is faithful and wise enough for the master to place him over his household, to give them their allowance of food at the proper time? Happy that servant if his master's arrival finds him at this employment. I tell you truly, he will place him over everything he owns. But as for the servant who says to himself, 'My master is taking his time coming,' and sets about beating the menservants and maids, and eating and drinking and getting drunk, his master will come on a day he does not expect, and at an hour he does not know. The master will cut him off, and send him to the same fate as the unfaithful. The servant who knows what his master wants, but has not even started to carry out those wishes, will receive very many strokes of the lash. The one who did not know, but deserves to be beaten for what he has done, will receive fewer strokes. When a man has had a great deal given him, a great deal will be demanded of him. When a man has had a great deal given him on trust, even more will be expected of him." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Picture this. Jesus is standing in Port of Spain, sipping a cold ginger beer on a bustling Sunday morning. The sun is just waking the city, blending the scent of fresh roti, ackee, and saltfish with the salty sea breeze. Children run past, vendors shout their wares, and the sound of steel drums hums faintly from a nearby veranda. He turns to you with a knowing smile and says, "To whom much is given, much will be required." Luke 12 verses 32 to 48. Now, imagine him walking through the streets of Kingston, pausing at a roadside jerk stand, watching the vendors with their calloused hands, the rhythms of reggae pulsing from every corner, the vibrant colors of Rasta scarves fluttering in the heat. He says the same thing. Much was given, much will be required. Or in Castries, under the shade of a sprawling mango tree, he watches elders recount stories of resistance and survival, their voices steady but heavy. Again he reminds us, much was given, now much is expected. Who's been given much? Look at Britain. They didn't just get much, they ripped off the Caribbean like a bad tab at the rum shop. Over 300 years, they extracted wealth equivalent to a staggering $19 trillion in today's terms. A fortune built on the backs of enslaved Africans, stolen lands, and shattered dreams. Sugar was the black gold of the Caribbean, more precious than oil is today. Every lump of sugar, every barrel of molasses, wasn't just a commodity. It was a slice of Caribbean life stolen for their profit, a silent scream embedded in every sweet grain. France, when Haiti declared independence in 1804, they were met not with congratulations, but with a monstrous bill, $40 billion in today's money, a freedom fee, imposed as punishment for daring to be free. Haiti paid that crippling debt for over a century, shackled by economic chains, even after breaking physical ones. Imagine that, the price of freedom being bondage itself, a cruel irony written in the annals of history. The Netherlands? They still reap benefits from the stolen labor of Suriname's enslaved people and the Antilles. Generations later, the echoes of those profits still ripple in their economies. It's a debt never settled, an unpaid balance that haunts Caribbean souls. But here's the kicker. Jesus' words aren't just about money. It's about responsibility. Take Barbados, a small island with a big history of resilience and rebellion. They were given so much by the world. Land, culture, a rich tradition of resistance, but they were also taken from. When Jesus says, much will be required, he's not just calling on the colonizers. He's calling on us in the Caribbean too. We've inherited the legacy of resistance, the spirit of emancipation, and the power to rewrite history. So what does it look like for us? Look at the modern Caribbean today. In Jamaica, when a community rises up to defend its culture, reggae, dancehall, Rastafari, they're demanding more than survival. They're demanding respect, restoration, a place in the world's narrative that honors their truth and creativity. Jesus' teaching reminds us that being given much isn't just about receiving. It's about using what we've been given to uplift, to heal, to build. In Trinidad and Tobago, with its mosaic of peoples, religions, and cultures, we see how much is given. The oil beneath the soil, the pulsating culture of carnival, the blend of East Indian, African, European, and indigenous roots, and so much more is expected. Leadership, stewardship, justice, and the courage to face our own divisions for the greater good. And yet, the world still asks, where's the aid? Where's the reparations? They offer crumbs. 10 million here, a grant there. But Jesus' parable warns us about those who know the debt, but refuse to pay. The servants who hide their master's money in the ground instead of investing it to grow. The Caribbean is a global treasure chest, yet we remain underfunded, undervalued, and often overlooked. But the real restoration is beyond dollars and cents. Money can't buy back the stolen ancestors. Money can't bring back the languages wiped out by forced assimilation. Money can't erase the trauma of families torn apart by slavery and colonialism. That's the debt only Jesus can settle. He paid the ultimate price, not with cash or commodities, but with his very life. His blood calls us to justice, mercy, and love deeper than any economic reparations. And that's why, even as we demand the billions owed to us, we must hold fast to the spiritual promise. Because without Christ's restoration, we risk just trading one empire's chains for another's. And the question we face isn't just about money, or power, or politics. It's about who we choose to be. Will we be passive recipients, waiting for others to deliver what's rightfully ours? Or will we become active stewards of our destiny, using every gift, every lesson, every ounce of history, to build a Caribbean that honors its ancestors, celebrates its diversity, and boldly claims its place on the world stage? So next time you sip that peanut punch, savor that jerk chicken, or dance through carnival, remember, much was given, much is required. The future asks us, what will you do with the trust laid in your hands? If this message spoke to your heart, don't just scroll past. Hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this truth, and subscribe for more stories that lift our Caribbean spirit. And I want to hear from you. What does much is required mean in your life? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this powerful conversation going. Remember, we've been given much. Now it's time to rise and show the world what Caribbean resilience really looks like.